हेलो बच्चों, वेलकम टू SPSVERSITY. Today we are going to deal about the structural organization in animals. In structural organization in animals पहले हम डिस्कस करेंगे animal tissues के बारे में. Tissue is a group of cells which has its common function. एनिमल टिश्यूज के बारे में आए तो एनिमल टिश्यूज में 4 टाइप्स ऑफ टिश्यूज हैं. पहला टाइप एपिथेलियल टिश्यू, दूसरा कनेक्टिव टिश्यू, नेक्स्ट इज मस्कुलर टिश्यू and the last is nervous tissue. When you come to epithelial tissue, epi means outer. So it will form outer covering of the organs or body, like lining of mouth, blood vessels, kidneys. This all it is done by epithelial tubes. Okay. And in this epithelial tubes, the cells are tightly packed. So they have less amount of intercellular material. Intercellular material means which is present between the cells. So this epithelium, it separates from underlying tissue from basement membrane. और एपिथेलियम टिश्यू में इसमें सब टाइप्स है depending upon the shape of cells and location. So epithelial tissue में सब types है based on the shape of cells and location. इसमें simple और compound epithelium. Simple means they are single layered. इसमें लिए तो simple squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, columnar epithelium, stratified squamous epithelium. Squamous epithelium, simple, it is made up of single layer of flat cells. Where it is present? It is present in the lining of alveoli. Alveoli means it comes under the respiratory system. The respiratory system ends with a balloon-like structure. So it is called alveoli. Lining of esophagus and oral cavity. So what you are seeing, this is squamous epithelium in which the cells don't have intercellular space between them. Okay. What is the function of squamous epithelium? It is protection, exchange of materials and transport of materials. Like for example, if you take alveoli. In alveoli, we can see exchange of gases. Exchange of gases between alveoli and blood vessels. Okay. So, simple squamous epithelium function is protection, exchange or transport of materials. Cuboidal epithelium, the cells are cube-like, which forms the lining of kidney tubule. Okay. And salivary glands. So इसका फंक्शन क्या है कि मैकेनिकल सपोर्ट, absorption और secretion. Like salivary glands will secrete the secretions, they are called saliva. Kidney tubules, which will absorb the essential nutrients from the filtrate. Columnar epithelium. The name itself says columnar means they are long cells which possess cilium. Where they are present in respiratory tract and small intestine. इसका function है कि secretion. Okay. So here you can see these are cells with cilium. Okay. So there is a nucleus at the bottom. This is nucleus which is present at the bottom. इसके ऊपर cilia रहता, which will push the substances. We have a last one of squamous epithelium, that is stratified squamous epithelium. Stratified means which is made up of many layers. Where it is present outside the skin. Okay. So which is meant for protection, preventing wear and tear during physical work, to prevent wear and tear. This stratified squamous epithelium is useful. Okay. और इसमें भी सब टाइप रहता glandular epithelium. So glandular बोले तो क्या? So glandular means it is modification of epithelial cells, okay, which may be unicellular or multicellular glands. Okay. Here you can see goblet cells which will secrete mucus. Okay. So they will secrete mucus. So अभी तक हमें डिस्कस किया एपिथेलियल टिश्यूज के बारे में. Now we will discuss connective tissues. Connective tissues means which connect various organs in a body, like bone, blood. These all will come under connective tissues. This में बहुत सारे types like areolar tissue, which is present beneath the epithelium. Adipose tissue, which will store fats. Fibrous tissue, which joins the bones of skull. They are called fibrous joints. Immovable joints को fibrous joints उसको क्या बोलते हैं कि fibrous joints. Tendons, which will connect muscle and bone. Ligaments, which will connect bone and bone, particularly at joints. Cartilage, which will give support and which will make the movement easy. So bones will support, protect movements. Blood is specialized connective tissue which will help in transport of food, gases, hormones. So through blood, various substances will reach to each and every cell of the body, like food, gases, oxygen, carbon dioxide, hormones. These all will reach to each and every cell of the body. So areolar tissue, it is a type of connective tissue which is present beneath the skin. Below the skin it is present. It will give support to framework for epithelium. So if you look into the diagram of this areolar tissue, it contains mast cells. It has a matrix. In this matrix, there are mast cells, collagen fibers, elastic fibers, fibroblast, histiocyte. Okay. What is the function of this areolar tissue? Is protection and support. It is called packing tissue, which will pack the organs. Adipose tissue, which is found beneath the skin, heart, kidney and around eyeball. So इसका function क्या है कि store fats. So which will act like a shock absorber and protect the organs like heart, kidney, eyeballs. Okay. So this is adipose tissue where fat is stored, which are called fat globules. Okay. So adipose tissue is one of the type of connective tissue. And the next is tendon. Okay. It is a dense regular connective tissue which will connect muscles with bones. So generally when you come to skeletal muscles, that means the muscles which are associated with the skeletal system, like forelimb, hind limb, these all are associated with the muscles are associated with bones. And between muscle and bones, there is a connective tissue that is called tendon. Okay. Cartilage, it is a dense, it is a loose one, which is found in the tip of nose, at the external ear and the end of bones. If you look into the structure of this cartilage, it has special cells, इसको क्या बोलते हैं कि chondrocytes, which are present in the matrix. Okay. So which will function is keep the passages open and distended and reduce the friction at joints. The cells which are present in cartilage, इसको क्या बोलते हैं कि chondrocytes, which are present in matrix, which is called chondrin. Okay. Which is a soft tissue, bones. It is another type of connective tissue that is which is very hard and consists of specialized cells. It is called osteocytes. The secreted substance called ostin, which make them hard. Okay. So here if you look into the bone transfer section, there is a specialized system called Haversian system. Okay. There is a specialized system in the bones that is called Haversian system. So this is the outermost layer periosteum and innermost layer that is endosteum. Okay. This means osteoblast. These are called canaliculi. Okay. These are osteocytes. So bones ka function which will give protection, support, movement and production of blood cells. RBC is produced from bones. Okay. And when you come to this blood, which is a connective tissue, which is a specialized connective tissue. Okay. Blood is a fluid, specialized connective tissue. So blood में क्या रहता है कि RBC, WBC, platelets, ये पूरा blood में रहता है. And blood has lot of roles, like RBC, which helps in carrying of oxygen and the carbon dioxide. The same plasma which has lot of proteins. WBC, which plays an important role in immunity. Platelets, which play an important role in blood clotting. इसका function है कि in platelets से blood clot. So during injury, okay, these platelets will help in preventing the blood flow bleeding by forming a blood clot. Okay. So this is about the connective tissues. So अभी तक हमें पढ़ाया connective tissues के बारे में. So connective tissues में areolar tissue, tendons, ligaments, bone, cartilage, blood. These all are connective tissues. Next, when you come to muscular tissue, so which plays an important role in immunity. So which is made up of muscles. So muscular tissue में 3 types of muscles रहता. पहले type आप देख रहे क्या है कि striated muscles. So next is smooth muscles. The third one is cardiac muscles which are associated with heart. So हमारा body में 3 types of muscles रहते. Roughly there are 600 muscles which are of 3 types: striated, smooth, and cardiac muscles. Okay. So generally, the muscle which is present associated with our bones, it is called striated muscles or skeletal muscles. Okay. And which is associated with internal organs, that is smooth muscle or unstriated muscle. और cardiac muscle के बारे में है, which is associated with our heart. So striated muscle which is unbranched, which is long and cylindrical. Whereas when you come to smooth, it is tapering end with a pointed end. Whereas when you come to cardiac muscles, they are cylindrical and branched. Striated muscles are multinucleate, have many more than one nuclei. They are uninucleate, these are also uninucleate. In striated muscles, there are striations which have alternate light and dark bands. इसमें striations नहीं रहता, लेकिन इसमें striations रहता. There are striations. Striated muscles are voluntary muscles. Voluntary means which are under our control. Okay. Unstriated, they are involuntary. Involuntary means they are not under our control. They are not under our will. Like which are associated with the muscles or stomach. These are. Cardiac muscles, they are involuntary. They are also not under our will. So where striated muscles are present, they are present associated with limbs, that is forelimb, hind limb, which are attached to bones. Smooth muscles which are present in alimentary canal, blood vessels, iris of eye, ureter and bronchi. Cardiac muscles which are associated with heart, which will play an important role in contraction, relaxation of heart. So these are different types of muscles. So इसमें 3 types of muscles रहता: striated, smooth, cardiac. And next, when you come to nervous tissue, so here what you are seeing, this is the structure of neuron, which is the basic unit of nervous system. So nervous system is made up of nerve cells, which has a cell body and axon. So cell body, we can see this is dendrites. Axon, this is which is covered by myelin sheath. Okay. और इसमें you can see types of neurons, multipolar, which has one axon and many dendrites. Here you can see unipolar, one axon and one dendrite. And here there is this is unipolar, this is bipolar. Okay. And the gap between 2 neurons, it is synapse, where there are electric synapse and chemical synapse. depending upon the gap. So this is about the nervous tissue which is associated with our brain, spinal cord. These all will come under the nerves. These all are associated with nervous tissue. So these are 4 types of tissues which are present in our body. हमारा body में epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, nervous tissue. Epithelial tissue, कनेक्टिव टिश्यू में एरियोलर, लिगमेंट, टेंडॉन्स रहता. मस्कुलर टिश्यू में 3 टाइप्स ऑफ मस्कुलर टिश्यू रहता, स्ट्राइएटेड, स्मूथ, कार्डियक. Nervous tissue, the basic unit of nervous tissue is neuron, which has different types of neuron, multipolar, unipolar, bipolar. और इसके gap between 2 neurons, इसको क्या बोलते हैं कि synapse. The functional gap between 2 neurons is called synapse. So nervous tissue plays an important role in conduction of nerve impulse, that is control and coordination. So nervous tissue plays an important role in conduction, generation and conduction of nerve impulse. It plays an important role in control and coordination. So nervous tissue will play an important role in control and coordination. So this is about the various types of animal tissues. So in animal tissues, 4 types of tissue के बारे में हमें पढ़ा. Now we will study about the structural organization of earthworm, which belongs to class Annelida. So earthworm belongs to phylum Annelida, which comes under non-chordates. Okay. Anni means ring-like structures, ring-like segments. Okay. इसका scientific name Pretima posthuma और दूसरा स्पेस है कि lumbricus. Okay. We come to the morphology of earthworms, that is external features. So earthworm is covered by, that is, it is having many ring-like structures which are called, it is called segmentation. You can see external segmentation. Starting from mouth, the anterior one is opening is called mouth, and the posterior one which is anus. Okay. So these segments are called metameres, or each segment has, except the mouth and anus, has the locomotory organ CT. The opening of mouth is guarded by, that is, peristomium. Okay. It is guarded by peristomium. Between 14 to 16 segments, there is a solid structure which is called clitellum. So based on this clitellum, the entire body of earthworm can be divided into pre-clitellar region, and post-clitellar region. And in the morphology of, when you look into the morphology of earthworm is a cylindrical body which has 100 to 120 metameres. Okay. On the dorsal side, you can see a median blood vessel. On the ventral side, there are genital pores, that is male and female genital. The opening of towards anterior side, it is mouth, and the opening of towards posterior side, it is the anus. Okay. Before the mouth, there is a fleshy tissue, that is prostomium. So the first segment which where mouth is present, it is peristomium. Okay. And in between 14 to 16 segment, there is a structure that is called clitellum. Based on this clitellum, the entire body of earthworm can be divided into three parts. Preclitellar, that is 1 to 13 segments. Clitellar 14 to 16. Postclitellar 17 to the last end segment. In the morphology, we can see openings like 5 to 9 segments. Spermatical opening is present. In 14th segment, there is female genital pore, and in 18th segment, there is male genital pore. And except in first and last segment, there are CT, the S-shaped locomotory organs. The locomotory organs in earthworm is CT, which plays an important role in locomotion. So this is morphology, external features. Next, we are going to study about anatomy, internal structures. If you look into internal structure, so the outermost layer, that is the cuticle. Below this cuticle, there are circular and longitudinal muscles, and there is coelomic epithelium. So you can see the transverse section of an earthworm. So cuticle, epidermal cells, mucous cells, इसका नीचे basal cell, circular muscle और longitudinal muscle, इसका नीचे, that is the coelomic epithelium. So these are the different layers present in the anatomy of an earthworm. The body wall of earthworm shows these are the layers. So when you come to digestive system of earthworm, it starts with mouth and it ends with anus. So the segment of mouth, that is called peristomium. And before mouth, the peristomium, there is a fleshy tissue that is called prostomium. So there is a fleshy tissue called prostomium. So here you can see the parts of the mouth, digestive system. Mouth, buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, gizzard, stomach, intestine, and ends with anus. That is, the first segment is mouth. Second segment, that is buccal cavity, which is from 1 to 3. Pharynx 4 to 5. Esophagus, which is a long tube-like structure, from 5 to 7. Gizzard, which occupies 8 to 9. Stomach 9 to 14. And for 15 to last segment, it is intestine. When you come to intestine, so this intestine has typhlosole. That is, before typhlosole, this is pre-typhlosolar, and this is post-typhlosolar. So these are special features which are present in the digestive system of earthworm. That is typhlosole, which is present in the from 26th to 35th segment. So what is the function of typhlosole is absorption. And at 26th segment, there are a pair of conical projections which are called intestinal cecae. And there are calciferous glands which will neutralize humic acid. That is, humic acid is present in the soil. Okay. So this humic acid is neutralized by this calciferous glands. Okay. So these are the special features which are present in the digestive system of earthworm. Next, when you come to circulatory system is of closed type. So closed means which has blood vessels. So which consists of blood vessels, capillaries, heart and blood glands. Okay. इसमें दो types of major blood vessels, dorsal blood vessel and ventral blood vessel. On the dorsal side and ventral side. And which will connect this is lateral esophageal vessel and subneural vessel. And there are 4 pairs of heart in 7th segment, 9th, 12th and 13th. So blood glands are present which will produce blood cells and hemoglobin. Here you can see the circulatory system. This is the dorsal blood vessel. This is the ventral blood vessel. And you can see the lateral hearts at 7th and 9th segment. A pair of. And the lateral esophageal aorts, a pair in each segment, 12th and 13th. So which will connect the dorsal blood vessel and ventral blood vessel. So there are 4 pairs of heart, 2 pairs of lateral, 2 pairs of lateral esophageal aorta. And when you come to the special features of circulatory system, here hemoglobin is dissolved in plasma. Blood cells are phagocytic, which that is, the blood will play an important role in exchange of O2 and CO2. That is, which takes place through moist skin. The exchange of gases takes place through moist skin. The skin of earthworm is always moist. Okay. So that you can see the exchange of gases through skin. This is about the circulatory system. And when you come to excretory system, okay, the excretory organs of earthworm are nephridia. They are nephridia. और earthworm में 3 types of nephridia रहता है. Septal nephridia, integumentary nephridia और pharyngeal nephridia. Septal means which is from 15th to last segment, which will open into intestine, which are present on septa, that is between the segments. Integumentary nephridia, which are present from 3rd to last segment, which will open through body wall. Pharyngeal nephridia, there are 3 pairs of pharyngeal nephridia, that is on 4th, 5th and 6th segment, which will open into alimentary canal. So इसमें septal, integumentary, pharyngeal. Okay. So nephridia will control osmoregulation, that is the regulation of volume and composition of body fluids. So which is excretory and osmoregulatory. So here you can see in 4th, 5th and 6th segment there are pharyngeal nephridia which open into alimentary canal. Integumentary nephridia, which are present in the body wall integuments from 3rd segment. Septal nephridia, which are present from 15th to last segments, which are present on septa. And if you look into the structure of nephridium, a nephridium. Okay. It has a funnel-shaped structure that is the nephrostome, and this is tubular body to the capillary. This is tubular body. Okay. And the opening is called nephridiophore. That is the end of the one is called nephridiophore, and this is nephrostome, which is the starting one of the nephridium. So nephridium is osmoregulatory as well as it plays an important role in excretion. There is osmoregulation and excretion in function. Okay. And next, when you come to nervous system of earthworm, which is present on ventral side, which has paired ventral nerve cord and a segmental ganglia. That means ganglia are present in each and every segment. When you come to anterior end, that is the third and fourth segment, there is a nerve cord, so which bifurcates and encircles the pharynx, which is called nerve ring. So there are suprapharyngeal and subpharyngeal ganglia which are connected by. Okay. And in this nervous system, the sensory organs include, like the anterior part of the body, which is photoreceptor, light receptor, which will detect light, as well as chemoreceptors, which will detect chemicals. Receptors for detecting vibrations. So you can see this is suprapharyngeal ganglion. This is subpharyngeal ganglion. Okay. And these are segmental ganglion. So these come under segmental ganglion. So this is the nervous system of earthworm, which has suprapharyngeal ganglion in the third segment. In the fourth segment, there is subpharyngeal ganglion, and in each segment, from fifth to that is last, there is a segmental ganglion. And from these ganglia, nerves will arise to, which goes to respective segments. And finally, when you come to the reproductive system of earthworm, earthworm is hermaphrodite, bisexual, both male and female are present in the same one. There are no separate male and female earthworm. It is a bisexual one. Okay. It is a bisexual. So here when you come to male reproductive system, there are a pair of testes which are located in testicle sacs. Okay. So there are a pair of testes in 10th and 11th segment. And from these testes, the vas efferentia will arise. Okay. The vasa deferentia will arise from testes. So reaches up to 18 segments. In 18 segments, it joins with the prostate and the seminal vesicles. Okay. So in male reproductive system, there are a pair of testes, testicular sacs, okay, and vasa deferentia arises from testes, and they reach to 18th, where they join with seminal vesicles and prostate gland. And when you come to female reproductive system, where there are pair of ovaries in 13th segment, from which oviducts are present on either side, and oviducts will open into common female genital pore. Along with ovary, oviducts and male genital pore, spermatheca, 4 pairs of spermatheca are present in 5 to 9 segment, which store sperms. Okay. So here during the crossing over, that is during the copulation time, here it is not self-fertilization, it is a cross-fertilization. Even though it is bisexual, it performs cross-fertilization. So both earthworms will come in juxtaposing, that means they will come in opposite directions. A bundle of sperms, they're called spermatophores, are exchanged, which will be stored in spermatheca. So here this egg or ovum actually releases along with sperm into packets, that is cocoons, so which is secreted by clitellum. So clitellum will be collecting the spermatheca, the ovum, the female gametes, and fertilization takes place inside the cocoon. So 2 to 20 baby earthworms are found within a span of 3 weeks. So which is a cross-fertilization. It is not a self-fertilization, even though it is bisexual. So this is about the anatomy, the structural organization, the morphology and anatomy of earthworm. And when you come to cockroach, so cockroach belongs to arthropoda. It has mouth part, that is, when you come to externally mouth parts, you can see the body is divided into head, abdomen, thorax, it is divided. So you can see mandibles, maxillae, labium. Okay, these are different mouth parts which are present in cockroach. So when you come to digestive system of cockroach, it has different parts like mouth, pharynx, esophagus, craw, gizzard, which is also called proventriculus, midgut, hindgut. Along with there are glands, that is salivary glands, hepatic caecae. It is also associated with excretory organs, small Phrygian tubes. Okay. So this is mouth, pharynx, esophagus, craw, gizzard. The different parts which are present in the system. Along with, there is associated with, this is salivary glands and liver. You can see this is salivary glands, which has these common ducts, both will open into common. Okay. When you come to respiratory system of cockroach, it is very simple. It is made up of trachea and spiracles. Trachea are tube-like structures which will connect each, will reach to each and every body part. Spiracles are the openings through which the gases will enter in and exit. Okay. It is called tracheal system. Okay. Tracheal system which is present in cockroach. And when you come to nervous system of cockroach, it looks more or less similar to earthworm, but there are slight differences. Like the nerve ring is present surrounding to esophagus. It is supraesophageal ganglion and subpharyngeal ganglion. Ventral nerve cord. And there are paired segmental ganglion. In each ganglion segment there are paired, which supply nerves to the respective segments. So this is supraesophageal ganglion, and below this is subesophageal ganglion. There are prothorax ganglion, mesothorax ganglion, metathorax ganglion, and these are abdominal ganglion. And when you come to circulatory system of the cockroach, which is open type, there are no blood vessels, and there are 12 pairs of hearts which will open by osteo. Okay. And there are walls which this is sinuses into which the blood is released. Okay. This is about the circulatory system of cockroach. Okay. So till now we have studied about different types of animal tissues, morphology and anatomy of the earthworm, in which we studied about the morphology, digestive system, respiratory system, excretory system, circulatory system, nervous system and reproductive system. In cockroach we studied about morphology, digestive system, respiratory system and we studied about circulatory system. That's all about today's class. Again we'll meet in the next session. Follow us in social media. Thank you all.